Oh, there.
Hi, how you doing, Jim?
We're good. Was that your car that was on there?
Yeah, that's my car, my summer car.
It didn't look like the weather I'd expect you to be having this time of year.
Yeah, I hope to get it out early this year. How you doing there, Mike? Paul?
Doing great. Can you hear me all right? My camera is not working, but
Can hear you, yes.
I'm going to try to set up on my phone for the camera.
Good idea. Well, you've got 4 people here counting yourself so far. You got Jim McMahon and Mike Sobel.
All right, communication agents link in Zoom. Okay, that seems to
Looking
be
good.
working.
By the way, Paul,
Yeah.
there is a Paul Ellinger, considerably older than you, over in the Grand Rapids area.
Hmm.
He's a good friend of my daughter-in-law's parents. So I keep getting invitations from him to become a Facebook friend. I
Oh,
don't know
nice.
who the man is, but you don't look alike at all.
We're probably, that's the side of the state I grew up on. It's just south of Grand Rapids. So we're probably some kind of shirt tail relation. My picture fell on me the other day, so I have to put that up again sometime. All right. Well, we're getting close. Got about a minute and a half, maybe a little less. And we have all kinds of stuff. I am recording this, if that is helpful to people. Hey, Rob.
Hey there, Paul. Good to see you, my friend.
Good to see you as well. Joe McDonald had a district.
Good evening, y'all.
Um,
Oh,
I've been on so many Zoom calls with people from Nashville and South recently that I've started to use the term y'all.
Nice. In my formative years, I grew up in Richardson, Texas, and had quite the drawl coming from that area. And I always wondered why, when I moved to Michigan, my teacher in elementary school wanted me to read in front of class. And then when one of my friends called me Gomer on the playground, I figured it out.
If you could just sing like Gomer sang,
Exactly.
it'd be all right.
All right. Well, it's 7 o'clock, so we will get started. It's great to have you all here. We have a lot of things to cover, and I think that we could theoretically break a record for the most number of topics in the least amount of time. So first and foremost, please be aware that Cleveland has been rescheduled for 2024. Sorry about looking here and here, but couldn't get my computer to work. Full details will be in the notes that I will send out to everybody, and you can click on the link and find out more, but that's a big one. I saw some really good things about how to advertise a show. And it's not always about the big ticket advertising when it comes to advertising our show. You'll have the link. I will provide that as well. Another fun thing, this will be number 3, Drew's Clues. Now, for those of you that don't have grandchildren that grew up in the 2000s and early teens, but there was a show called Blue's Clues. And so that's the play on the words, and it's done by Drew Wheaton, tenor of Forefront. And he's got some really cool things going on for learning. So if you have things that you would like to use, if you're trying to provide things to your chapters on training, and this would be a great resource. Speaking of great resources, number 4, Facebook, there is a tag group, and they show you how to look at different tags, to create your own tags. People will put out 2 or 3 parts and you fill in the last one. It's really taken off during COVID. Of course, I will provide the link. 5, using Verbella's virtual world for ongoing events. This is kind of a neat conversation that Joe and I have been having with the Barbershop Harmony Society. For those of you that were able to attend the virtual midwinter, that platform is called Verbella. There is an annual fee, and you get it for the year, but then there's also an event fee. And they are looking, because so much work went into that, they are looking at using that in other circumstances as well. There is talk that it could be free if they look at the contract correctly, if no one is charging for the event. So if you're looking to have the thing that is being investigated, if you're looking to have a district, divisional in other districts, or even a chapter level event, and you're not charging for it, man, you can get right on there and have conversations with people and do training and watch videos together, etc. It could be really cool. Even as we come to the closing stages, hopefully, yay, of COVID. So moving on to number 6, societies. Let me read what I wrote here. Societies founding with another great night of online singing, learning, and socializing. Well, basically, the society's founding, got it. It happened in 1938. If O.C. Cash and Rupert Hall had Zoom in 1938, they wouldn't need to meet at the rooftop of the Tulsa. So there is an event occurring on April 11th, which April 11th, 1938 was the date the society started, officially, unofficially. And so on April 11th, it is Barbershop Harmony Day and for the country. And on April 11th, I'll have the link. There will be a virtual event that people can all get together in a night of online singing, learning, and socializing. Number 7, super helpful link on midwinter and post-COVID singing. There's some really cool stuff that people learned that could take place using Verbella and virtually, and they're sharing those with us. I'll give you the link. I'm going to stop at 10, and then I'll ask if there's questions. So go into number 8. 8. You probably, or maybe you haven't, there were some significant announcements about staff reductions at the BHS headquarters. It was all financially driven. And of course, it hurts when we have friends that are affected. So I will have a link to that And you can read about that. So there's some pretty big names that were affected. So if you reach out to them, just let them know that you're thinking of them and praying for them. Let's see here. So number 10. If you would like to make a difference in the world of barbershop, there is probably no better position to do that than being a society board member. I will make sure that you have the link that you or even someone else that you recommend can apply to be a society board member. Of course, don't forget, and this is a really good thing, men and women are invited, and there are at least 2 females on the society board right now. And there you go. So that's 10 so far. Let me zip over and see if there's anything that would need clarification. Otherwise, I have plenty more. We good?
Verbella, spell it.
V as in Victor, E-R, B as in boy, E-L-L-A, Verbella.
Okay.
All right.
Paul, can you say what the 8th one was again? I think it was the 8th, sharing Verbella. And I was trying to keep up writing.
Yeah, so I don't have these numbered, but I think that was using Verbella for future ongoing online events. Yeah, but I'm going to send you
You
notes.
did talk about that one. It was before the staff reduction one, just before staff
That
reduction.
is, the virtual save April 11th, 2021 for the celebration of the Society's founding with another great night of online singing, learning, and socializing. I'll give you the link.
That was actually between those 2. Was there one you said between that?
Super helpful link in mid and post-COVID singing.
That's it.
Okay, that'll be in. So Tom, welcome. The nice thing is that I will send you links and my notes so that you have it. So that you can go, oh, I missed something. Don't worry about it, man. Got you covered. It'll be there.
Thank you.
Yeah, sure thing. But good question. All right. Let me zip back and see anybody else. I saw Pete say, hey, we can get going. Everybody else good? All right, moving on. We're having fun. All right. So now that I've scrolled to the part of the screen that I can't see, I will scroll down and let you know that I found this great link as well. All kinds of cool stuff being shared today about how to create a virtual quartet in 5 easy steps. You can compete or do it just for fun. You can create a virtual quartet. So that we're not going to spend too much time on it other than just sharing that it's available. You'll have the link. Going on to number 12. Is that the right way? Yeah, 12. There was this thing that I've seen it before, but it's making the rounds again. There is an online representation of what happens in your mouth to go from E to ew, and how to move different things within your resonators and your tongue, etc. And it just really is cool. I'll make sure you have the link. I learned some things about my voice getting to use that. All right. There is talk at BHS HQ about having, remember how we had the Legacy Quartet show? There is talk about having a Legacy Chorus viewing or contest, depending on how they decide to frame it. And so more information may be coming on that. There was a really nice video about a couple of middle schoolers and elementary schoolers singing barbershop. And I'll make sure that you have the link. And it's not meant, the link is not meant to say who you should support with your discretionary dollars to support music. I just thought it was a great video. I'd be happy to share that with you, to see people of that age group having such a success, not only with unbelievably difficult tuning and just having a real success, but having a life success to boot. Because how many of you, by show of hands, I can put myself in this group already, have had a life success because you have confidence to get out in front of people now and not only talk, but to sing. So to have young people of that age, to have that kind of internal success, I mean, Joe and I have talked about it before. You got to learn how to ride a bike. You got to learn to swim. You got to learn to talk in front of people, and singing in front of people is just, that's the black belt, right? Okay. So once again, Barbershop earns the black belt of acapella. There is some really, I have about 4 different links about this outreach called Music Medics. It was so great to see it, and I'm not trying to take credit for this in any way, shape, or form, but I remember about 15 years ago having a full idea about how to do this in hospitals, and oh, you can't do that, you can't do that. Well, someone finally did it. Now, they might have created it all on their own, but it's just so great to see that people are going out, singing in hospitals where people need to be cheered up. And it's really doing well, and people are seeing successes, not only for the singers, because they realize that it's not about a score, it's how you make someone feel and what you do with your music. And they see the value in that. And then the families are just feeling very blessed by it, to be able to hear this kind of music just right in front of them. So I will share that if that's some kind of altruistic purpose that you, your quartet, or your chorus would like to participate in. It's pretty turnkey, and you can join their movement. So, Music Medics. Member Center help. There is a lot going on at the Member Center with the new programming of that website. And they're asking that if you have questions, boy, if you can email, they'll get to you just as fast as they can. But know that if you email 3, 4, 5 times, it doesn't make it faster. It actually makes it slower, because now they have to read through and go back and say, oh, this is the same person that emailed yesterday. So one email, they get it. They won't lose it. Phone calls are tougher, but they'll do their very best to connect with you. And they appreciate your patience as they work through it. All right, there was, and there still is, a Serenade Songbook Challenge by April 1st that I'll make sure you have the link, of course, as always. There is a series of songs, and some of them, I think at least one of them are a polecat, but it's kind of like a polecat thing that if you do some singing and share your video on your Facebook and things like that and submit the video, regardless of what level or class it is, you'll be entered in all kinds of cool gifts. And I think some of it was things from the barbershop store, discounts, etc. But it's just more to get people singing. So I'll make sure you have the link to that. There was for Midwinter, there was a really cool playlist that they played during Midwinter to watch some really good performances. And I thought it was good enough that I'm going to include it. So a little bonus topic for you there. You want to hear some good barbershop that you probably haven't seen before? I'll make sure you get the list and the playlist on YouTube. So moving on to, I think we're over 20 now, fellas. Okay. Here's a question that Joe and I have for everybody is, what women or men do you know that might make for a good Pioneer board shadow? They would attend board meetings with the thought that they would possibly move into a position on the board in the future. Please list as many candidates as you see fit, and don't forget about younger people, even teenagers. We want input so that we can learn more. We don't have to earn, you don't have to earn your stripes, so to speak, to be a part of this. If you have a heart for barbershop and the music and the Pioneer District, you've got the credentials. Let's see, you have a passion, yeah. Okay, on to the next topic. There's no link there, but you'll have the notes. Who do you know, so this is another in your circle of influence, who do you know that would make a good judge now or in the future? There are 4 categories. People only think there's 3, but there's 4. They are music, performance, and singing. The 4th one is contest administrator. And we've been blessed to have one of the go-to gurus in that 4th category of contest administrator right here with Ron Eubanks in Pioneer District. So if you can think of anybody, we've got one person that's going through the process right now in the performance category. That would be this knucklehead right here. So clearly they'll let about anybody in. It's been very fun. I've learned a lot, and it is hopefully going to be very, very rewarding. Try to say that 5 times fast. So administrators, they're the people that don't write scores, but they organize the entire contest. They're awesome. Yeah. All right, so that brings us to the end of, I think, about 27 topics in 17 minutes, gentlemen. So we can spend the remaining 10 minutes or so going over any one of those, or to share anything that's for the better of the Pioneer District. Do you like the pacing? Yeah? Pacing you like? Cool.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't like to sit in meetings and just go, well, what do you think, Fred? I don't know. Let me just, I've come up with a new word. There's a difference between having a viewpoint and having a view meandering, right? A view with a point versus a view where I just talk and don't know where I'm going to end up. So I would like to keep things where we have viewpoints. All right. Anything else? Pete and then Joe.
A little tiny brag. I was able to audition someone over Zoom on Friday.
Wow. How did that go?
Really quite successfully. She was playing a audio track that she was singing along with her device near her, and it didn't overwhelm the microphone, and it worked out well.
That is fantastic. So I haven't forgotten about Joe, but I have something I'd like to share and dovetail to that topic. I've enlisted the help of my son, Parker, to try to help make a video tonight about someone who has never tried singing. And here's my theory, and I've used it maybe 30, 40, 50 times, where I meet people in public and they say, I can't sing. And I said, well, could you hit a ball the first time you swung at it? No. Well, okay. So when you first swing it, you're probably, the ball's 6 feet out in front of the plate, or 6 feet behind you, or 3 feet above you, or 3 feet below, right? But over time, you start to learn that, and then you're only off by a foot, and then maybe 6 inches, and then an inch or 2, and then you're ticking it, and then you're hitting it, and then you're hitting it and having it go where you want it to go. So it's just really about learning about that delta, that difference. And so Parker and I are going to create a video to help people. He's going to sing, ba, and I might sing, ba. And then they go, oh, is that higher or lower? Ba. Did I have to go up or down? Oh, so if you got that, you got it right. And then we'll make smaller and smaller tolerances, and then even get to the point where we are matching the placement without having to say it that way. But what does it sound like? Ba, and something, oh, right? Does that sound together? So the neat thing is, the reason I'm saying all of this is that we're creating a video library. Kind of cool stuff, guys. A video library to help groups get going and get started, or to welcome people that have never sung before. And this is one of those videos. You guys excited about that? Cool, man. We're going to do this. We are going to do this. All right, Joe, partner in crime. Let's hear it.
Thanks, Paul. I just wanted to remind people, I'm sure we've said before, that there's a project called Project Connect out of Nashville. And it's for people who really are in a position they can't afford their barbershop experience right now. And by simply calling into Nashville and alerting them you'd like to talk about Project Connect, they will connect you with a representative and you can negotiate your comfort zone. I recently did this with an individual in the Mount Pleasant chapter, and we were able to change the dues from $144 to $54, which was reasonable. So new people are eligible for that. And there's also a window of people who left barbershop more than a few months ago back to a couple of years ago. You can get those details on the BHS website, where they can come back and negotiate a new deal under Project Connect, because we simply want those people to stay on board and don't want money to get in the way.
Yeah, that's such a, I think you all, I just have to tell you that, and I think I speak for Joe as well, everything that we've seen from the Barbershop Harmony Society headquarters has been just very loving and supportive, and there's just lots of cool things coming out. And I don't think the nice thing is we have barbershoppers, so there's not going to be anybody to call and say, oh, if I can get a discount, I'll call. Well, it's not meant to be just a discount because I feel like getting one. It's, can you help someone else? And if you're the one that needs the help, Project Connect is there. Cool. Thanks, Joe. That's really awesome. Would you be willing, Joe, if you have a link to something like that from the BHS website, to forward that to me, and I'll include it in the notes for everybody else?
Yes.
All right, so that's 28 topics. And anybody else have anything? Rob.
Paul,
Hey, Paul. Hey, guys. I just wanted to let you know that myself and a few of the members of the Wayne chapter attended the Zoom meeting for the Music Medics last week with the Nashville chapter, and it was really eye-opening and really, really surprisingly, like, why aren't we doing this?
Right.
To see the looks on these young kids' faces is in this video that they shared with us was just, I had a tear in my eye. And you know, we sometimes as chapters go out to hospitals at Christmas time and share the love of music and harmony with those who aren't able to join us out in the sing-alongs that we do and sing-outs and music. But to take it to the kids and to see those kids have a friend that was going to come visit them, we can't wait to do this. You know, it is right up our alley. So I highly encourage you to reach out to anyone that you know involved in the program, or if you want to reach out to me, my email is part of this chain as well. So please, we'd love to have everyone to develop a really good network of hospital visits for this program. It looks like it's going to be a wonderful
Awesome. Thank you so much, Rob. And if you do happen, Rob, to find the video which you're referencing, if you could send that to me and I will include it in the notes.
You got it.
All right. So the thing is, guys, don't forget that one of the keys is of this whole thing is we are a grassroots organization. And Joe and I have realized a long time ago that putting things in an email and just sending it to everybody is not very effective. But if we have conversation like we're having right now and sharing and learning with one another, And then each of us go back to our specific chapters, like Tom and Rob, etc., and go back and share all of these things that are happening. No longer will we hear, well, what has my society done for me for my $12 this month? So we need to let people know that there is a lot happening, and a lot of it is very good in a very unfortunate set of circumstances. So thank you, Pete. Anybody else?
Yeah, Paul, I had something there.
Go ahead, Tom. Oh, I've seen
Um,
it, and I'll learn to look at that next time. Gotcha.
I'm working on the video thing. It's not working tonight for some reason. Is there I don't know if this was done like in the past before at a district level or not. There's a lot of chapters out there who have a lot of pictures that were taken from different events throughout the years and that kind of thing. Would it be feasible to have like a district repository for pictures where people could upload them, like cloud-based or something, or where people could go back and find pictures that they're trying to put something
peruse them.
together? Sometimes you put an email out requesting pictures or different things. You don't get a huge response because you kind of skim over emails and this kind of thing, and
Sure.
for whatever reason, people are busy and stuff like that. But if the district had a spot or an account or something where people could upload, as long as they identified the chapter, the name, the event, the
Okay.
date for the pictures they're sending up, that it would be, somebody could go and tap that.
Yeah.
So if somebody's trying to put something together for
Yeah.
20
Somebody
years down the
interrupt
road.
you? I'm interrupt you just because I try to keep things very efficient. So I think it's a great idea. And Jim McMahon has something that he would like to add to that.
Didn't I see something about a depository of pictures that Steve Sutherland started years ago that may already be there and could be added to? Thought I read something about that not too long ago.
That would be awesome. I hope that Steve Sutherland gets to see this or is contacted by one of the communication agents to find out where that might be. Another person to maybe check with would be the district historian, John Baker, the third or the fourth, I forget, but the fourth. And so he might have access to some things. And I know that our very own treasurer, Chris Berry, has been working on some digitizing as well. So maybe we can get somebody to funnel that. Thank you so much, Pete. The thing that I'll ask is, boy, your district board is not huge. So to take on projects, it's going to take more than the people that are already donating time. And I'm sure that everybody on here is donating time at your chapter or another level. But if you can find people that say, hey, I would like to support our district and singing and barbershop in this way, whatever this is, let us know, because we have all kinds of needs for help. All right. Anybody else?
Yeah, I have a question. Just curious, what's the plans of the various chapters going forward this year in terms of rehearsing and in terms of doing a show? I mean, I can tell you that my chapter, Kalamazoo, we're going to start rehearsing in person second week in April, I believe it is, and then we're still tentatively planning our show in September. I was just kind of curious what other chapters are doing.
Yeah, so that sounds like a pretty big topic for something that we have about 60 seconds left for.
Right, I
But
realize that.
here's what I'd like to do is, how many of you will be meeting in person starting or meeting in person, either starting or continuing in April next month? Okay, so that's, how many of you plan on having a show at several 6 months, 9 months out after meeting? Raise of hands. Okay, there you go. So there's kind of a quick, inventory of what might be happening. Joe McDonald.
Yeah, a quick preview, something that's not been announced, but is very likely will be a part of the unconventional, and it's a raffle. We traditionally have convention raffles. We're going to have one this year. The format will be a little bit different. The pricing structure will be a little different. And we have a local beneficiary in that it will go for youth harmony and specifically Harmony Explosion in 2021. So watch for those kinds of details. We're only going to have 100 tickets to sell. So when you see the announcement, and if you let your guys and gals know, they're going to want to act quickly before the tickets sell out. They'll be $20 each.
Yeah, at some point when we have a little more time, Joe can share the details on how the raffle works. It's pretty cool, guys. It's very different. And I only say guys because it's only gentlemen here, but I hope that we get some ladies on our next communication agents meeting, which I'm going to close out here soon. Hey, if you enjoyed anything about this meeting here and found it helpful, found it informative, found it fun just to connect with people and see what's going on in the wide world of barbershop singing, boy, do me one favor, and that is bring somebody to this meeting the next time, because I think people will get the sense that things are happening and hey, I want to be a part of that. So bring some people along, and we have room for 200. So let's break Zoom and see if we can't get 201. All right. Anything else? Otherwise, I'm going to sign off, gentlemen. I want to just thank you so much, Tom. Great job in getting your video working. Watch out for the dogs. That is not part of Zoom. Let's say bit your ear off. I just saw that. So thank you very much for taking the time. I hope you found this helpful. Let some people know, and I'll look forward to seeing you next time on the Communication Agents meeting. Thanks so much.
Thank you, Paul.
You're welcome.
Yeah, thanks.
Good to see you all.
Yeah, good to see you all too.